Hey, what's going on, you guys? It's gonna be a very, very special story time video. Now, this is a season of giving, and I'm gonna give you guys all the craziest shit that I've ever done. So, this is one of them. This is the drunkest I've ever been. Now, there's two funny parts of this story. Number one, this happened about a week ago, and number two, the hangover I've experienced the next day is a whole nother story. So, surprisingly, yeah, I did say this happened last week. This happened on a Sunday night. And the reason why I did this, I was very wild and I was very bored, you know? That was the number one thing is like quarantine, it kind of makes you do stupid shit. That's kind of just besides the story. But, whatchamacallit, I had this 12 pack of beer cans. Like, hold on, let me see if I have one of the cans. Yeah, I do. It's one of these, but it's not the what is it? A mango? It's not mango actually. It was a strawberry that I drank. I drank like 10 of these. Wait, how many ounces is this? 8 FL ounces, 8 ounces of alcohol. I drank like 10 of these, and the reason why I did that, I was like 2010 in my head. I was very very drunk. I remember drinking like I was on my like fifth or sixth beer, I think. And then I wasn't getting enough drunk. I'm like, yo, I've drank 6 of these. That's a whole 6 pack, and I'm not getting that much, even though I was really drunk in real life. But in my head, sorry, I gotta fix when my sitting. In my head, I was like, I wasn't where I wanted to be. I was like, all right, let me see what's the most drunkest I can be. Like I'm like, let me pass my limit, which I highly do not recommend doing that. Do not pass your alcohol limit, because the hangover you feel the next day is like horrible. But let me continue along. I got so bored. I was like, because I was running out of weed this night, and I'm like, you know what? You know what I mean? Let me sit down and drink like 10 beers and see what happens. I had a little bit of water, I had a little bit of weed on me this night. So I'm like, you know what? Let me see how it goes. By the time I got to my 5th beer, I got a little bit buzzed. I'm like, all right, I'm feeling a little good buzz going. It did took me a good like 4 hours to finish all those beers, because like liquor, you can just like take shots and boom, you're drunk. But beer, you have to drink at least like 5 or 6 of these to feel something. So I'm like, by the time I'm feeling a little good buzz, and I'm like, all right, like I'm at my 6th beer, like I said in the beginning, and I'm like, I'm not feeling where I want to be. And whatchamacallit, by the time like I keep, because at that point I'm like, you know what? Wait, do I have a shot cup? Yes, I do. I had this shot cup the other day. I'm like, you know what? Let me just do it by shots and, see what happens and see how drunk I get. Because I was so drunk to the point where I would go like this to the whole can and it would like spill on me. So I'm like, you know what? Let me just take a lot of shots. Now, by the time I got to my 9th and 10th beer, like I don't know if you guys can relate to this, because I don't know if you guys passed your alcohol limit before, but when you're very 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 drunk, you can't talk. Like I don't know what it is. Like it's not like being stoned where you're stuck and you can't really like process shit. I was just like, when you're very very drunk, you feel it in like right here in the front of your head, like mostly, at least for me. I don't know, everybody's experience is different, but for me, like you feel a good nice buzz in the front of your head, and it kind of like no matter what you do, it never goes away. Like I'll take like 3 bong rips and it won't go. It'll kind of go away. Like it's kind of weird. Like when I take bong rips when I'm really drunk, I can literally feel myself feeling chill, feeling a little bit more stoned. It's kind of weird. I don't know, but by the time I got to my 10th beer, I was just so drunk. Like yo. When your eyesight is like, I don't know, I mean, like I said again, I don't know if you guys passed your alcohol limit. You stare at one thing, like let's pretend you're staring at my hand, but then like your eyesight keeps seeing 2 hands. I'm like, bro, like what the fuck? That's how drunk I was. But whatchamacallit, what else did I do? Like I drank those 10 beers, and the first thing I noticed, I can't talk. I'm like, yo, like the more I talk, the more how your stomach feels like it's like burning hard as hell, especially like your liver and all that shit. But I felt that, and I'm like, nah, I gotta go back inside. I'm at this very spot where I'm just super drunk as hell. I'm like going like this. I can't control my move. I can't feel my legs this night. I couldn't feel my legs. That's how scary it was. Like I couldn't feel my legs, and whatchamacallit, I had to keep breathing. Like I had to keep, when you're so intoxicated, you have to literally hear yourself. I don't know if you guys ever experienced this, but when you're very intoxicated, your brain forgets how to breathe, which is really crazy. I had to like sit there and be like, no, I had to breathe. I was breathing through my nose. I was like, it's so funny that like I now I'm really remembering this night. Like I'm walking slowly back to my room because I had to keep telling myself to breathe, relax. All right, if you survive this, you got a nice little story time to tell. It was like I was like that in my head. I didn't say it out loud, but I walked into my house and I'm having a lot of trouble opening the door. I'm like so drunk to the point where I can't walk up the stairs, So I had to literally look down at my foot and literally like take one tiny footstep at a time. And I kept limping and shit because I was just very drunk. Because I kept going like I can't talk at all. I'm not saying hi to nobody. I'm not doing nothing. I'm just so drunk to the point where I felt like I was gonna die. By the time I got to my room, I felt like I was gonna. I felt like I was really gonna die. Like I was like, and I kept shaking as well because I'm so intoxicated. Like I never felt this drunk before in my life. It was so scary, you guys. Like I probably will never do this again. Like I'm just sitting there like, so cold. Oh my god. Even though in my room it was so warm, I was just like, like I was literally like that for like the entire night until I knocked the fuck out. So when you're very drunk, like it felt like your heart, you're literally feeling your heart too. Like I'm feeling my heart beating in a very inappropriate speed. It's like it felt like Xanax all over again almost, but I'm like this drunk. I'm like, oh my god. Like I didn't want to touch my heart. I didn't want to touch my chest or anything because I'm like, holy shit, I'm about to die. Am I about to die? Is this the end? Is this about to be the end of me? And I remember sitting on my bed in my room, drunk as fuck, not being able to talk, not being able to move my arms or legs around very well. And the funniest part about this night, I was very, very drunk. Before I knocked out, when you throw up very hard, like in a movie, like you see just like a cannon just like shooting out very, very hard. That happened to me. I threw up 3 times at the very least before I knocked out and went to bed. And I'm like, oh damn, I know a hangover is gonna come because I'm already throwing up while I'm this drunk, and I know a hangover is gonna be really bad. And I was really right. The next day I woke up, oh my god, like I felt pain on the back of my neck. Like, when you have an entire giant headache, you feel it in the back of your neck and you feel it on the side of your head. That's what I felt like. Imagine feeling a headache on the side of your head and on the back of your neck with a stomach ache while throwing up every 5 or 10 minutes. It was not cute. And your temperature is a little bit high. So, damn near I almost thought I had COVID. But I'm like, nah, this is a hangover because if I had COVID, I wouldn't be able to taste anything. But my hangover was probably the worst hangover I've ever had, other than the time that I threw up for 6 hours. So don't ever do what I did. Don't ever drink 10 beers. Know your alcohol limit. If you don't know your limit, don't drink at all. Because I didn't know my limit this night. I'm like, you know what? Let me keep going and going and going. I was like, shot. And then by the time I'm at my last shot, I took the last shot. I got so so drunk. I wasn't even able to talk. So it was like, I highly don't recommend doing any of this. So that's the story time. I hope you guys enjoyed that story time. But I want to update you guys real quick before I let you guys go. I'm on semen retention. Like that is it. Yes. I'm on semen retention. This is like my second day on it basically. But I did this before, and but my goals back then weren't really relevant as to my goals now. The reason why I'm doing this is my biggest goal is try to go 150 days of no fat, semen retention, no sex at all, because I'm focused on myself. I'm focused on building myself. You feel me? The first week, is usually the hardest, but I'm mad committed to this. Now I'm telling you guys what the hell I'm doing. You know what I mean? So probably like, yeah, my 21st birthday is 150 days from now. Like, by the time my 21st birthday comes, I'll be like 152 days of semen retention. So think about it. I'm already starting the New Year's right. You know, I'm thinking a lot more clear. You know, I see life very different when you're on it for at least a week or two. You're gonna start looking at everybody different. But I'm gonna check in with you guys on like day 7 and tell you guys how I am. But I'm gonna keep updating you guys once or twice a month, see, to tell you guys how I am on this stuff. If you want to join on this journey along with me, I'm on day 2. You can join in if you want to. I mean, I'm not bashing you guys down if you don't, but I'm just doing it for me mostly. I'm just doing it for me to not only motivate myself, but like people my age that, you know, you can be abstinent for a little bit, take a break, you know what I mean? That way, because if you only focus on chicks, you're not gaining nothing. You're not gaining any value. So I don't know, I'm making this live video a little too long, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out.